everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I'm Joe, an anime sicko.
We got a special treat, a delightful foregone flavor we thought would never return. But before we get to that, we have two patrons we have to thank for giving us money. It's so good to get money, especially because of all the circumstances. Our first giver of money, patron you might call them, is Dr. Octarine. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doc Ock, for your $5 American dollars. Or
It sure looks like it.
cool. I'm not being xenophobic about money. I'm just clarifying.
Yeah. I am. I hate all other money. I hate all money. Period,
Canada's got a
actually.
goose on that. I love
Canada
That's just a
now.
noble thing.
That's why Trump wants to buy
It's all those geese coins.
goose coin. Oh my God, his Trump rug pull coin. The reason he did the rug pull was because he realized there's no goose on it, so he's like, "Gotta pull that rug." I don't know what rug pull means other than like it's when the chumps get scammed.
Is it even a rug pull if it's like clearly an open bag with a dollar sign on it from the jump? Like, is that really a rug pull then? It's just like, you please put the bribes here.
I do not fucking understand, and I never care to learn how these crypto people, like, what is the judgment going through their minds being like, well, the last 1 million meme coins have been absolute fucking nothing frauds.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
this
lost
one-
big on the Hawk Tua coin, so.
Yeah. But this one's going to be real. Anyway, you know what? We're never going to pull the rug because we don't have a rug. So you can patronize us just like our second new patron, Dalton Chew is. That's chew like what you do with your mouth to food. Dalton Chew.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dalton.
You have the same name as the guy from Roadhouse and also the comically incompetent second in command from the Kingdom of Zeal from Chrono Trigger.
Oh,
That's
he
not
laughs as everything burns around. Not in like a Joker way, like he's just doing a bad job.
Yeah, he tries to steal the fucking car, dude. You can't let him do that. The car goes through time. Anyway, I made an illusion. First of all, sorry, thank you to our patrons again, and you can patronize us at patreon.com/animesegos. I always forget to say that. Who cares? The thing that I alluded to, the once great taste that we thought we would never sample again, we're talking about a posting episode. Because we thought we were done with posting episodes on account of Twitter stopped being fun in a huge way.
A spiral of anti-life. Really anti-spiral. It was just no good. It sucks to look at. And Bluesky now also sucks to look at, but we have posts.
It sucks to look at in a familiar way. It's not exactly the same as we knew it. We knew that would happen. You know, nothing can ever be recreated exactly as it was, you know. Certain circumstances that we can't possibly know the significance of shape events in ways we can never understand. But Bluesky, which, you know, previously was a fun little diversion that we're like, oh, maybe this is okay. That shit's making insane posts constantly. And the cost benefit analysis of finding insane posts on Bluesky is such that, like, it's worth doing for an episode in the way it was not worth doing for Twitter. Because, like, you're going to see some shit on Bluesky that's going to make you very frustrated and go, ah! But you aren't going to see someone being like, I like it when these people get their heads chopped off and then there's a video of it happening. That's not there. That is on Twitter. So, so we're back.
Let's talk about the computer, Tom, and the words on there.
Yeah. I was talking to you about this because this is going to be a big theme of what we discussed today, which was I have this feeling, and I don't know if it's true. You know, facts don't care about your feelings, famously. So I don't know if it's a fact, but I have the feeling that Bluesky's big innovation in the insane posting arena is that, like, the new apex predator in this ecosystem is the pedantic replier in a way that, I mean, there are always pedantic repliers, but, like, They are the
Why are they the
game
big
in
fish?
town. I don't know. It's so weird. Do they do they think they're like of adding value? Like they get yelled at every time they do it.
I think a huge part of this is just driven by the fact that I don't know if this is TikTok brain or whatever, but maybe from just being used to just swiping to the next piece of content, they think the Discover feed is like served up for them one at a time, and they should respond to everything. Because I've looked at people replying, and like they are just going sometimes through the Discover feed, which is just a deranged way to use it. And this is a very important thing that you need to tell everyone, because it's a huge public service, and everyone will say, Tom, you're a genius. You can make the Discover feed go away.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I couldn't believe it because I was going nuts looking at the Discover feed because it was so fucking bad. I forget how you do it. Let me open up Bluesky so I can actually walk you through the steps, because this is so important, folks. If you go on Bluesky, there's on the bar on the left, there's a thing that's called feeds. You're going to want to go to feeds. You're going to see the Discover feed that's on your My Feeds. You're going to want to click on it, and it's going to open up a new page, and it's going to be the Discover feed. It's going to have all the fucking posts that you hate. If you look up at the top of the fucking receipt paper where the posts live, right in the middle column, the top of the middle column, on the right, there's going to be a little thumbtack icon. You're going to want to click that and make that shit go a fucking way.
To put it simpler, clicking on the pin.
Click on a pin. Because it's pinned by default. You don't want that shit. It sucks ass. So, okay, I think that is, Joe, that you have hit upon, I think, the key of what these pedantic repliers, why they're so endemic. Because us geniuses who are from Twitter natives, who are funny and good and have a podcast.
No faults.
Perfect people, genius people. We understand that when you post, what you're doing is you are with your buds. You're like hanging out at the spot. And you're just like, hey, listen to this. And you tell a little joke and everyone goes, yeah. That's the game, okay? The people who are going through and responding to everything in the Discover tab, I think TikTok brain is a good way to put it, because with TikTok, there's really a feeling, and it's presented as though everything you're seeing is like a performer has put out their latest piece. Like someone is like, I am a content creator on TikTok, and this is my new thing.
And they're
enjoy,
not all, front-facing camera videos, but those do also have a very one-on-one feel. Whereas, like a message is like, this is something that is not broadcasted, but sent out to other people. Someone looking at you in the eyes is just like, this is for me only.
Yeah. Also, I think the framing of the person as a performer, I think, does a lot of it, because that's something that, if you're on a fucking Twitter clone, if you're doing short form text microblogging, you are not a performer. Like, that is not, like, I don't want to review.
Your time machine's fucked up. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You're not, you can look at all the 2015 line break jokes about politics. They will make you feel like shit. That will give you the resolve you need to not do that anymore. What was the one that was like, at the time, everyone was like, this is so good. It was like Owen Erickson or some shit.
Owen Ellickson.
Oh,
yes.
Owen Ellickson. And fine. At the time, it was perfectly fine. But it's, again, one of those things where it was something in a point in time. And now you can only see its agedness that makes you feel sin.
I gotta say this about Owen Ellickson, because it's very easy and accurate to look at that big, long series of tweets he did where he was doing line break fucking screenplay
as
script.
every member of the Trump cabinet or person in orbit. Yes.
And it is cringe. It is lame in retrospect, but I do have to give him my deep respect, because when Trump won, and prior to this, he was like, I'm going to publish a book of the Trump tweets. Ha ha. Buy my book. When Trump won, he was just like, I've made a huge mistake. the book's canceled and I'm deleting all these tweets. I'm not doing it anymore.
What's really sad about that is that if he didn't have convictions, that was the time for the book. Mm-hmm. I respect him greatly for that.
Yeah, I mean, he would be that. If he didn't do that move, he would become the lip syncing woman. I forget her name because she had no act other than lip syncing, which is not valuable as a performance. Anyway, we got to get to the actual insane posts. Our first insane post is a pedantic replier. Would you believe it? The original poster is Nerd JPG. This is someone who got a Kirby as their avatar. You'll see Nerd JPG all over. They're posting 24 hours a day. They say this. Girlfriend walked over to me, said, "Communion time," and placed a white chocolate melting wafer on my tongue. That's like, oh, that's a fine enough post. That's like that's a line drive single. That's kind of funny. What does our man Jack 2011 say in response to that?
Coming in immediately with white chocolate is not chocolate. So obviously all of the violence in something like RoboCop is supposed to be over the top, gratuitous representation of American violence. But like it should happen to this type of person.
He should get his dick shot off for sure. Bam, by RoboCop. Everyone would cheer. And speaking of everyone cheer, the Peanut Gallery, Nerd JPG does not chime back in as they're correct not to, because this is not where their or anyone's time. But the Peanut Gallery starts yelling at the pedantic replier, as is customary. Which, again, I don't think this is usually it's like, why is this person saying something that gets yelled at them all the time? And the answer is it's humiliation fetish. I don't think that works for the pedantic repliers because, like, they're not notable. They're not getting it in scale, you know? It's the people who are, like, media entities who are constantly saying stuff to get yelled at. It's like, okay, that's a humiliation fetish because, like, you're making it your life. Anyway, Peanut Gallery says, hey, consider eating shit and shutting the fuck up, actually. Well, Jack 2011 responds,
Man, you are so angry.
And another Peanut Gallery person says, well, most people aren't thrilled into being friendly when they don't actually know you and you pop into their replies with an annoying, well, actually. So maybe keep that in mind for the future. And then this is where Jack 2011 really goes galaxy brained.
He replies with one word and a question mark, context, and it puts us at a fork in the road because it's either this is just like a truly evil person dropping this, or what was described to him in the previous post was the context, like 100%. Like that is, she did. The previous poster did a wonderful job explaining kind of what was happening, why he is being told to eat shit. Like it's a really nice blueprint. You did X. People are reacting with Y, and that's why.
Contact?
It's just like, can you, what, context?
So the one word context with the question mark is a killer annoying guy deflection move. You see it a lot. An annoying guy is getting owned, and they're just like, context, which both punts the ball, you know, it buys them time and also makes everyone else look like they're not doing debate club right. And so this guy's the genius for knowing the debate club rules.
Yeah, oh, you guys weren't clear. I asked context about a bunch of assumed things that a child would understand, and now you have to waste time explaining them to me using puppets because you're stupid.
But usually when that tactic gets implemented, it's about something else. You know, it's like about politics or it's about some other discourse. It's like context. Like, buddy, the context is your life. Like, it's you. Like, you're the one. I love this guy. Context? Ah, goddamn. You know, this is another thing. We're going to come up on this later in this episode. I really hope we have time to actually get to this. If not, it's coming in the next Insane Posts episode. But something I absolutely love is, when there's a pedantic replier, the thing that tends to happen is everyone starts yelling at them and dunking on them with their most hilarious burns. And generally this makes the pedantic replier go, huff, bup, 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 bup. And that's, further dunking material. What I always wonder is like, what if you, in like really good faith and without any judgment, like explained the deal to them? Like, would they know? Like, would they get it then if they weren't reacting to an insult and were like understood what was happening here?
If we took the time and pulled them into a different room, showed them the charts, showed them the diagrams, showed them the transcript of what they said and how people responded, including like with the proper faces for how the emotions of those statements resonated with the speaker, just like really lay it out.
Context?
Yeah.
They don't. The answer is, folks, with extremely rare exceptions, so rare as to be statistical outliers that should not be counted, they don't. Next, these are two posts that came out in the same day, January 2nd, 2025, getting the new year off to a great start. These are our obligatory sex posts. I'm going to read the first one out for you. This is from a guy called the Lost Paladin, so he's got powers. There was I believe the context, which is now lost because this guy has deleted the post. All I have is a screenshot. The context I believe, they were dunking on this guy for being a lib or something, and he was trying to prove his socialist bona fides, saying like, I'm actually, you can't say I'm not left. And this is his proof. Quote, "My mom was a union organizer for 25 years. I walked picket lines of wildcat strikes with her. We used to run bake sales and trivia nights to support striking workers." Now, this is where you should end the tweet, personally. He continues, "You wouldn't survive 3 seconds in her vagina. It would shrivel up what's left of your balls." Now, this is where I would end the tweet again. If I
two
couldn't
off-ramps,
have...
missed both of them.
I miss her terribly.
I miss her and her ball shriveling so terribly. So, this is a wonderful example of a common issue in rhetoric. I got to teach this when I taught. This came up a lot, which is like, something you want to avoid in an argument is in the process of laying out or establishing your ethos, don't just start saying sex shit for no reason. It's confusing. It's off-putting. My mom was a union organizer. I did all these things. This is what my dick looks like. Like I don't know. It also leads me to believe that part of union organizing is everyone had to chill in her mom's pussy. And I know that's not the case, but like, why are you saying it?
It's like every essay you got handed in was like, the assignment was like, oh, please make a persuasive essay about why school should start later instead of early. And it's like everyone's second paragraph was like, furthermore, my mom's got that gorilla grip.
Yeah. It's just like a weird thing to volunteer to show like coolness.
I also don't understand what it's supposed to be getting across, because the beginning of this is, again, just like, you think that I'm some lib, but like, I've walked the walk a lot more than you have. Like, this
mom could have a killer puss, like, irrespective of all the organizing.
Yes.
They are not related. Biologically, they do not have an impact on each other. There's been many studies done about this.
Yes. And also, like, why would I not survive? Like, what did that mean? Like,
why is your mom Jabbar?
Mom Jabbar. Yeah, it's fucked up. That's all that can be said about that. The next sex tweet, Joe, do you want to read this one or shall I?
I'll read this one. This one's good. "I still don't know how to be good at sex. I just put my little man in there and spam random shit and she comes, often multiple times, shrugging emoji."
I just spam random shit.
I just spam shit, dude. I just get in there. Don't overthink it.
See, I don't even know what to say about this, because, like, obviously it's ridiculous, but, like, I don't even know if I want to make fun, because, like, I just kind of like that this is around as something that someone said.
He's succeeding. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
I
a
mean,
failure.
if he is telling the truth, which it's not unthinkable to think that someone would say this and it'd be fictitious, but assuming he's telling the truth, I mean, people can get mad at video game players for button mashing. You're not actually learning the game. You're not actually engaging with the design.
Okay, but
if
you
you
can
win-
kind of get up the ladder a little bit, though, you know?
It's like if you win, if you got over 50% win rate with your button mashing, like, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe you need to button mash a little better. Maybe you need to put my little man. That's the reason it's so good. I put my little man in and spam random shit.
Like he's dropping in like a Fortnite round. Like,
I mean, we're going to talk about this later, but like, there is an art to putting the sexual experience into language in a way that is evocative and interesting.
absolutely true. Cock is too much for many circumstances. It doesn't match normally.
Yeah, this guy gets it. He like really hits it.
Yeah.
I put my little man in and spam random shit. Love it. Next up. Oh, we were talking about that crypto shit. We got to talk about the the Hawk to a coin. This is by some fucking guy. Hi, Haley Welch X. This is on X, the everything app, hence that. My $35,000 that I purchased of $Hawk is now $2,000 after 10 minutes of buying. I am a huge Hawk Tua fan, but you took my life savings. I purchased your coin $Hawk that you were so excited about with my life savings and children's college education fund as well. You did, and then basically, like, I didn't know that you would rug pull me. I'm sad.
The whole point is the rug pull.
I gotta ask you, how do you, like, paint me a picture of what it means to be a huge fan of Hawk Tua? Like, what do you...
I just can't wrap my head around moving 35 G's, like, for this of all things. You do have to love that there will always be a part in messages like this, and there are many like this, which is, I don't have any money now, Mr. Musk or Hawk Tua. Just wanted to say, it's assumed, but I just want to reiterate, big fan of the show and your work. Please unsteal my dollars.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Hawk Tua. Like, does that mean... Is he think her name is Hawk Tua, or is he like, I'm a big fan of talking about dick sucking? Like,
it's basically like Gore Vidal, man.
Yeah, this when fucking Sam Alito was like, does Pornhub have articles? Like, it's like, oh well, you can probably put Hawk Tua on there. You probably write the words somewhere, and that's like an article. I do you can't imagine moving 35 G's into the Hawk coin, especially. He says that was my life savings and children's college education fund. Dude, imagine you have 35K to your name only, and you're like, you know what I need to do is make a really risky investment with all of it.
And also consider, assuming it is a college fund and not just like money he has sitting in a savings account that's earmarked for college. Like, it's like an investment that he has now removed from the market. So like, yes, obviously he lost all his money, but then also like, it's not just that money is gone. The future earnings of that are gone as well,
Yes.
which normally,
Yes.
not a big, like, won't someone think of the returns, but it's for actually your children's fucking school.
Yes. Like, you could put that shit in an index fund, and you wouldn't have the magical returns you would if you guessed right on a meme coin, but like, it wouldn't go down.
Also,
You
you
know?
can't guess right on a meme coin unless you start the meme coin.
Well, yes. This is why these guys are idiots.
It's like you want
I
to,
think-
you don't want to be buying Joe Coin. I want to be saying Joe Coin is now available.
Yes, that's a good point. Well, I think the fact is that the Hawk coin was uniquely, well, much like the Trump coin, actually, not uniquely, but they both are positioned in a very good way to trick rubes, because the only person who's going to be a huge fan of Hawk Tuah is a huge rube. Because, like, I really can't get around that phrasing. I'm a huge fan of Hawk Tuah. Like, you're a huge fan of how she answered an interview question once? Like that? Huh? Huh?
I mean,
Huh?
I am a huge fan. We said this before. Let's say everything resulting from her interview and resulting podcast was organic and not astroturf. That's pretty funny. Like, that's just objectively funny.
Yes.
But then if you're like, I don't know, I think there was money involved, like there was astroturfing money involved. And it's like, well, that's unfortunately even fucking funnier.
Yes.
Because they are trying to make some. Do you see how many dollars are going to make the blowjob thing happen? That's wonderful.
I think it's a little column A, little column B. I truly think that the beginning was totally organic, and she was going to have 15 minutes of fame regardless. But there is definitely some behind-the-scenes pushing because, unfortunately, a blonde white woman who openly talks about wanting to sexually service men is conservative coded. So there you go. That's going to be...
And Dasha was the first guest, too. I think it's a Thiel thing, too.
Ooh, that's bad. Well, okay. Two things about the Hawk Tuah that we have to... We're going to move past this, but I want to talk about two things. The first, I could not believe, and I checked like 5 times because I thought that I was getting it wrong. So her real name is Haley Welch. That's a normal name. Nothing wrong with that. But then I noticed that it was not spelled how I thought. And I kept checking, and I went on Wikipedia, and I'm like, did someone change? Did some, like, joker make an edit that hasn't gotten fucking corrected yet? Her name is spelled Haliey. Haliey.
I think this is a Mandela effect.
I really do. Like, this is Berenstein Bears. Haley Welch, the bear, who sucks bear dick. Wow. It's insane. So that's that. Her name, go look this up. I'm not fucking lying. I bet you didn't notice. It's like how sometimes Chaise Lounge is Chaise Longue. Did you know that? Can you believe that?
No.
The other thing is, I always am thinking, like, she got big because she was interviewed on one of those man on the street interview shows where these guys shove microphones into the faces of drunk children. And you know that they do that because they think that that's going to be lucrative for them. If I get someone saying a funny answer, that I'm like set. And no, because no one fucking remembers them. No one says I'm a huge fan of those 2 guys on the street asking people things. They say I'm a huge fan of Hawk Tuah. So I actually looked into who they are and what they're doing, and I found their Twitter page. They're called Tim and D TV. And Joe, can you describe the big banner at the very top of their Twitter page? The first thing you see when you go on Tim and D TV on X, the Everything app. What's this look like?
It's the Hawk Truth. It's two guys hanging out in front of a hanging light bulb because they have the light of the truth with them.
They are sitting in front of a cork board with a piece of paper tacked up that says the truth, another piece of paper tacked up that is a photo of Haley Welch, the TikTok logo, and then also a yellow Post-it that says views. And these 4 things are all connected with a red thread. Their entire life now is desperately, sweatily coping, trying to convince people that Hawk Tuah is a ungrateful B word, and that actually what you have to like us now. Like once you see the truth, you'll realize that you're obligated to like us. All their posts are like being sad that the Hawk Truth video on YouTube is being shadow banned because the tweet announcing the Hawk Truth video has 1.1 million impressions, but there's only 100K views on the YouTube video. Bruh, something ain't adding up. Is someone on the Hawk 2 a girl team paying y'all not to push our video? The video, I watched only a auto-playing clip that showed up on their Twitter because I did not care to watch any more. Their big gotcha moment that proves that Hawk to a girl is an evil B word. So they have a clip of her saying how when she first got famous from saying the blowjob sound, she was like, geez, my life's blowing up. I wish this wasn't happening. God, why did I talk to those guys? This is what I get for running my big mouth. But then once she realized that she would get a lot of fucking money, she was like, actually, this is not so bad. You know what? Thinking back on it now, I'd do it again. And they replay her saying, I'd do it again in various levels of slow-mo. And the slow-mo really makes her accent go nutty. And the top comment, of course, is never bite the hand that fed you. This is so fucking pathetic.
I'm Team Hawk Truth, though.
Oh, you are? How so? Tell me.
I just like when anyone has a grievance that has a lot of wind up to explain.
It really does.
I do.
Because, like, I don't even... Again, I didn't watch the video because I don't fucking want to. But, like, what is there... She was on their show. Like, she did say Hawk Tuah on their show. Did they think that she's, like, an employee of theirs still?
This is just the fundamental, like, why did they blow up when we made it happen? But also, like, again, it happened because of the person, not because of the people who asked them and teed up the question.
And also the question wasn't even... Like, the question was, as I recall, like, what's the move in bed that always works? And it's like, that's like, fuck, the Newlywed Game was already doing that. That's not... You are not adding anything new to the table. It just... I mean, the main point of this is, don't think that being a man on the street interviewer is going to make you famous. The whole point is finding someone more interesting than you. Let's move on.
This is a shortish thread about dirtbag culture, lamenting the loss of it, specifically about how, like, you could be a cheap scumbag in the early 2000s and just get by, and how that was a lifestyle that could be achieved. And I want to read this because there's a thing in it that I think is very funny.
Yeah. Overall, I think this thread is right on the money. But when Joe showed it to me, I too came across the line and did a big ha-ha.
This is by poster Chloe Lum, compulsiveobserver.bluesky.social. Dirtbag life was a source of so much culture, so many books, albums, exhibitions, shows, tours, parties. It's gone, and I mourn it. Dirtbag life allowed my working class self to make art and music full time, and I despair the youth will never get to experience it, and I feel bad for my students. Dirtbag life may set me and my partner behind a bit financially and professionally. Creatively, it was everything. Once it became clear that the rent was always going to go up, that our older dirtbag friends were getting evicted or even dying, we went back to school and professionalized.
Pause. This is where you would think you're about to hear about when the life of the artist making suboptimal financial decisions in favor of an art life.
This is when I became a public accountant.
Yeah. This is when they're going to go corporate. So in what way did the art punk go corporate, Joe?
Got our MFA.
Got our MFAs.
There are so many people I know who have MFAs, and I could not in a million years call what they are experiencing as a professionalization of what they were before.
Yes.
I'm, to be clear, happy that this person... I agree with everything that's being said here. It's you should be able to just, like, live cheaply and make art, and, like, the way you make it happen is you live like a scumbag. Like, you can make it work. Yeah. It should be an option.
If you are willing to accept sleeping in a fucking dangerous hovel with 10 other people and eating fucking trash for every meal. You should the reward should be you have fucking time.
You are doing it in
stuff.
service of something. Hell yeah, you should be able to do that. It's just because, as someone who's worked in a corporate environment for a long time now, it's just like MFA is like a joke. And not to say it shouldn't be. Someone who's worked in a corporate environment for a long time, an MFA, in terms of the soulless eyes of capital, an MFA is nothing. It's not professionalization. I was really expecting, like, we did med school, we did patent law, like just something.
I saw the writing on the wall, and I saw that my life as a small-time dirtbag artist is coming to an end. Now I do the same thing, but in a classroom.
If you rewrote the whole original post, replace dirtbag life with MFA life, it still tracks. And I'm not saying this to be dismissive. To get an MFA, you have to do this too.
Yes, I want to be clear. Yes, I agree with everything in this thread, and it's very well said. It's just that it's just made even better by that line.
It just kind of has like, and I finally figured out, in order to be safe in this bitch of a world, I had to do clown school.
Yes. Oh God. Okay, that was a good one. Let's move on. Okay, next up. Oh, this one's bad. This is a just straight up just a screenshot from a periodical. Which periodical? I forgot to note it. But, well, let's go. This is about Tom Hanks, the actor Tom Hanks. You know him. He's so lovable. For someone like Hanks, AI could enable him to take on roles for which he had long assumed he was too old. Quote, if it's possible for me to play a younger person than I am, I read stuff all the time and I think, oh man, I'd kill to play this role, but I'm 68. I'd kill to play Iago, but I can't because Iago's in his 20s. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Editorial parentheticals here.
Pity the poor 20-something actors shut out from playing Iago by Tom Hanks. By an ageless Tom Hanks, rather. When AI evangelists talk about its capacity to empower artists, this is the kind of thing they mean, though Hanks' experience have compelled him to contemplate some morbid implications. They can go off and make movies starring me for the next 122 years if they want, he acknowledged. Should they legally be allowed to? What happens to my estate? Far from being appalled by the notion, though, he sounds ready to sign all the necessary paperwork. Listen, let's figure out the language right now. Grim!
Listen, let's figure out the language as we go is a horror story. It's absolute a horror story. And I think Hanks here is a really an important type of person, because it's not... There are a lot of people who are excited about AI because they're like, finally, we can get rid of people who make art and just generally immiserate people and remove humanity, et cetera, et cetera. His answer here is like golden retriever enthusiasm in the context of like his life as an actor. So like he's being told like, yeah, you'll be able to be you can do roles you wouldn't be able to, yada, yada, yada. And like if you don't think too much about it, you're like, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. And the issue is when the golden retriever is like someone like this, a well-loved actor that everyone knows, it's just got a little more juice. Do you see how it's just scarier?
A low-information rube sees America's Dad be like, there's something to this AI stuff. I'm not going to say no to it. I can see the appeal. And they're going to be like, he sees the appeal. I guess there's an appeal.
The only correct move that has been done by a celebrity related to any recent technology advances was Richard Karn being like, I am bumping the brakes on my NFT. I looked into this. This shit sucks. I am sorry that I've lost your respect as the guy from Home Alone. Not Home Alone. Fucking Home Improvement. Sorry. No one hit him with the paint
Home
can.
Alone. He'd be so good in Home Alone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's so underrated. When he was on Detroiters, when he was hosting the award show for commercials in Detroit, he's great.
Yeah.
There was one where he's like, the producers told me I couldn't sing tonight. And he gives this look and he's like, yeah, right. And he starts singing. So good. Anyway, that's Richard Karn. We were talking about Richard Karn. Next post. Oh, this one's great. This is from Matt Nissel on X, the Everything app. Now, I understand. There's value in the COVID, bell ringer. The person who's like, it's not gone. Don't say it's gone. Don't pretend it didn't happen. Don't pretend it's not having effects now still. Because that's true, and we need people saying that because society at large is trying to make you think that COVID went away. And it didn't even really happen, actually. It never happened, and no one died, and there are no lingering effects. So it is useful to have people who are like, remember, it's still around, still dangerous. I don't think that this is the correct way to do that, though, because this is his illustrative example of how COVID is still around. Just got home from a visit with 5 friends. No alcohol involved. One shat himself. One couldn't hold a thought for more than 30 seconds. One started uncontrollably sobbing. One arrived saying their partner's at home, sick as a dog. And one fell over bending down. So, yeah, SARS, by SARS he means COVID. Yeah, SARS is mild and it's over.
Okay, if it is COVID, why are you meeting up? Also, everyone is acting like a different sim that has had a different bar drained completely. There's just a guy standing in a piss puddle as he sobs. The sobbing guy is because someone just shit near him. Like,
yes,
that is objectively the case. Also, you can't hold a thought when things smell bad. Like there's a shitter next to you. That also impedes your focus.
My thought with that was that can't possibly be true, because even if you have like incredible brain fog, like if someone that you're hanging out with, like we were hanging out with like the boys, and one of us shit. Like, sorry, that's the only thing on anyone's mind for like 15 minutes.
The status
solid.
quo cannot continue.
Yes. Yeah, it's just like, even if like you get distracted and start thinking about something else, within seconds, you're going to be like, something smells like total shit. Oh, I know what it is. It's all that shit in my buddy's fucking pants, smushing against his cheekers down there. He's going to have to clean them cheekers off and get new pants. Gross!
One fell over bending down.
That's just getting old. We all do that. That's nothing. That's no problem there.
They should have said the activity. Like, was there a controller under the couch? Like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Was he trying to surreptitiously sniff his crotch and ass region to be sure that it wasn't him who did the shit? No alcohol. So, like,
no, there's just an insane gas leak, but no one's boozing it.
Do you think that the shitting himself was like, he just, like, COVID's got him so hollowed out mentally that he's just like, this is the way you do it, right? Ploop. It's like, no, dude, you got to sit on the toilet first.
Like, did he run to the bathroom, not make it? Or was he just on the couch, undaunted?
Like fucking, like the guy from Seinfeld who pisses on the couch. He just sits on the couch and goes, and then gets up. I don't know. Actually, I do know. This is fictitious. This didn't fucking, like, I guarantee this didn't happen. Because if these events occurred as described, that's insane. Like, that is, like, what truly nightmare blunt rotation. Because what we haven't discussed, there's 6 people hanging out, and 5 of them did incredibly embarrassing things. We are forgetting the 6th person, which is
the speaker.
The speaker. Like, imagine you went to hang out with your buddies and you shat yourself. So embarrassing, devastating, and mortifying. But at least I was with people who I trust, who know me and respect me. And then you get home and you see going viral.
I would be like, oh, thank God. You said it was SARS related.
One of us couldn't stop posting about our friends shitting. All right, let's move on. This is a quick one. This is just a classic math problem. This is why you need to understand word problems, because when you go online and you see posts Occasionally, you will be like, wait a minute, I know what numbers to compare to each other. And you will come up with a very funny answer. So there was someone who was saying that during Jimmy Carter's funeral, that it was really bad that Barack Obama was photographed joking around and laughing in a friendly manner with Donald Trump. Everyone was saying that he shouldn't be fucking doing that. The reason is he should not be fucking doing that. However, we got a lib named Curious Snowflake, James C. Struck, who has a different take. He says it is actually very racist and rude to demand this of Obama. And here is what he says. Wow, the amount of white blindness in this comment section is staggering. I hate to break it to you all, but Obama is still a black man living in a white man's world, and part of that is laughing when you really want to kick someone's teeth in, because the alternative is dying. That's very funny, because the idea that they would kill Obama at the funeral if he sort of was stoic and didn't make eye contact with Trump. But someone quoted 2 tweets of James's from earlier with the caption, doing some quick maths here, because, and this is where the word problem occurs. James C. Struck had earlier said to a quote tweet asking, how has your sense of identity changed through your life? He said, when I was 17, I was a straight, pro-life, moderate, devout Catholic. Now at 50, I'm a genderqueer, pansexual, polyamorous pantheist. That's fine. But he also replied to another prompt tweet, which was, what has turned out to be a huge silver lining in your life? And the answer, definitely knocking up my 17-year-old girlfriend. Turns out she was the love of my life. This September, it's going to be 25 years. 50, 25, 17. Okay, let's do some math here. He's been with her 25 years and he's 50, so he was 25 when she was 17. Do not advertise this. Don't tell people this. Don't do it.
It's just a weird thing to volunteer. Yeah, you can't give people the word problem. You can't.
And also, if you're going to give people the word problem, you can't be smug and morally superior, because you're just like, hey, I'm really annoying, and the one way you could absolutely...
It would be so bad if you cut me down to size.
Yes. And also, here's a very funny thing. 25-year-old with a 17-year-old girlfriend. That's pretty sus. You know what's really funny? Seinfeld was this plus over a decade.
He would just go to that school and pick her up. Like, if you went to her, like, you would see the guy on the TV.
Like, she'd be done with class. Over a decade more. Jerry Seinfeld was 38 when Shoshana Lonstein was 17 and going out with her. So, actually, compared to Seinfeld being 25...
Always a good barometer to use. Just, how does Seinfeld stack up?
Woo! 38 and 17. More than a decade older than this fucking guy was. And he's getting dunked for it. All right, we got to do the sex poem. Sorry. This was Cheetah Jackson at XOXO Gossip Cheetah. They're a great poster. You'll see them around all the time. They said this. Just read an awful poem by a Twitter socialite type that contained the phrase beautiful penis. Not once, but 3 times. I literally feel like I should take a shower. And enough people were going, Gita,
show us
share
the horrors.
poem.
Show us the horrors. You kind of have to, because Gita is essentially like showing up with a wooden box, peeking in there and being like, oh, it's so fucked up in there, guys. It's so fucked up in there.
Yes,
and everyone's like, can we see what's in the box? And she's like, I don't know.
This is the whitest kids you know, Trevor's gross out show. She's holding up the bucket that says
poo-poo
piss.
and pee-pee and oh no.
So here it is. This is a poem called Remember How This Feels by the Twitter user Swoon. I am happy when I make a cheap cake from the box, but I am not part of the collective consciousness. When a man with a beautiful penis adores me. When a man with a beautiful penis sees innocence in my mess. When a man with a beautiful penis turns to me in the morning, that time in the morning when his testosterone is spiking, when he is huge hands, and I am soft tits wormhole. I am I'm happy when I hallucinate figures in the corner of my eye, when God finally gets me to sit down and stop speaking, scheming, spinning myself into sickness. That line's actually okay. When someone says, look at that, and I've never seen that before in my life. When Wednesday feels like Sunday, and I remember summer only consumes half the earth. When I think about dolphins, and when love intertwines with the oxygen in the room, and no one asks how much it is worth, or where it should go, or who it belongs to.
Can I, writ large, categorize this as a type of poem that there are many like this, and it's just a category I use for these type of things, and it's the poems first and foremost about like I just got a lot going on up in my head, like yes. That's like I got a lot going on. I have a rich inner life sort of thing, and obviously you should write about what happens to you, all that sort of thing, but like the positioning is just like, aren't I neato?
Yes. So there were some people who pushed back on making fun of this, being like, excuse me, are you such a prude? Do you really think that a penis can't be beautiful? Is there really no artistic value?
It's got like gems on it, yeah.
Yeah, is there no artistic value in using language to explore a woman's sexual desire for a male body? Like, that's actually shaking my head. That's sus. The reason this poem is so bad is because, as you say, like, there's no like craft to it. There's nothing like it is very much a first draft. The fact that she says when a man with a beautiful penis 3 times, that is so much
I hear the record scratch, like, dude. I do. How do you not hear that? There's no other repetition in the entire piece. I can only think of that.
It is very much like I'm going to start writing about some thoughts that I have because I got some thoughts. Now, here's the thing. That's the right first step, but you have to fucking do some more work. But I have some thoughts I'm going to start writing. And I'm actually going to do like free verse. So the form is whatever I feel like. And you know that she was just like, you know what would be fun is if I repeated it. And like she repeats it 3 times. She's like, that's so poetic. And like... repetition can be poetic when it is used with intention, which this fucking wasn't. Also, I love how the second half of this stanza is basically like, so if you didn't realize, I'm a right-wing, dimes square, cocaine, mean girl Republican. Because it is only when you look at life through that lens that you would decide in a poem.
Oh, are you about to say the testosterone a little bit?
Yeah. That is how you will describe your man getting horny for you, is his testosterone is spiking.
Yeah, it's there's a part of the poem that's just like some copy from Brain Pills.
yeah, pretty much. I am soft tits wormhole.
I am soft tits wormhole. I am such soft tits wormhole. Lately,
whole is so, I mean, again, that is so Dasha coded, saying whole in this way. It's just, it does not.
It's so fucking funny. The town from Die Dark is called Hole.
From Dora Hedora.
Oh, sorry, the other one that's Freak. Sorry, Dora Hedora. The town of Hole, and they have the I Heart Hole, I Heart New York style shirts.
That's an I Heart Hole. Here is a great quote tweet of this poem that I think says it very succinctly. A Shine knockoff of a type of influencer that hasn't existed since the pivot to video. Self-loathing fantasies so dull, they get more from hitting post than pulling a vibrator out about it. A truly awful brand of pick-me girl gooning. And as much as it's easy to dunk, and we just did, and it was fun and easy. One of the I found that previous dunk because I was looking at the quote tweets being like, I bet someone's going to have an incredible dunk for me to queue up. I found someone who proves correct my hypothesis that the reason this poem is so bad is that they had the idea of, like, I got a lot of thoughts in my head and feelings. That's what poems are. So I'm just going to write them down in a fucking list. And because it is actually cool and modern to do all free verse, I'm going to apply no craft to it. And thus it comes out as a fucking first draft ass blob where the stylistic choices seem random and stupid. And this person, FF Fanatic 06, basically took the poem and applied it to a form and expended some rigor on it. And I dare say it's much better. They describe, I should be asleep. I'm supposed to be up in 4 hours. Instead, I'm trying to make a villanelle out of what I think this poet was going for. And so this is their rewrite of Remember How It Feels. I am happy when cheap cake mix reads perfectly moist, and the morning greets me again, in the arms of beautiful men who make their need for me voiced. I am happy when I bite the end of my pen and remember breathlessness enjoyed and morning greets me again, with Aidan or Ben or Willem, who want my unspoiled innocence destroyed. I am happy when heavy hands reach for me again and finger me perfectly moist and the morning greets me again. Because God gave me this body and the world of men and made life's cacophony fall silent before two bodies joined, and I am happy when the morning greets me again. I'm not going to say that's perfect. That's
It's better. They don't say penis.
They don't say penis.
So is it really a rewrite?
Man, I don't know. Sucks. You know what is good? Is the leaked photo of heaven. You heard about the leaked photo of heaven?
Oh,
they got one.
We got to close out on this one. This is what I want to end on because I've been thinking about it a lot.
Shit, yeah, then let's do it. Let's this be the capper. Because really, how can you top this? Because this is real. This is like Giants. This is the same.
This has the same exact flimsy rhetorical framing that the Giants had, which is just like a computer AI generated this video of how Giants might have built a pyramid. You see how like there's no like truthiness in there? It's just like the computer spit this out.
Well, yeah, that's true about that, Joe, but I don't see how that's relevant here because this is a leaked photo of heaven.
Sorry. Yeah.
Like that's like the headline here from our pal Nandi. Leaked photo of heaven. It's finally out here. It's not only out here. Leaked photo of heaven going viral on social media.
No wonder Christians are so determined to get there.
I'm looking at this and I'm amazed, dude. I'm turning Christian now. I see what Dasha Red Scare is all about. I actually believe in the Latin rite big time. If it means I get to go to leaked photo of heaven.
So I would describe heaven as like a multi-spire mountain made out of like dried toothpaste, and then inside there's glowing windows. Or maybe another way to look at this is that this was once a shipyard, and it has been since covered in layers of cum. And as a result, what we see now is some weird mass with like portholes everywhere. But to be clear, this is heaven. This is the best place you can be.
Joe, you've actually, that cum joke, that's not a joke. You've unlocked my mind. I was thinking the other day about retention kings. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what their new vector is. You know, they're always innovating, those guys. They're not going to still be talking about the same things because they're so smart because they come.
No, they're going to be developers in heaven.
Yes. When you get to heaven and and the reason you get to heaven is because you successfully retained your cum. If you were fucking busting all the time, you do not get to go there.
You show up with no masonry. You have no ability to construct pylons.
Yes. Once you get to heaven full of cum, that's when like the reward is it all comes out, like, and it pays off. Like, this is what you were investing for. And the cum forms these toothpaste mountains that you live in. I can't emphasize enough that this shit looks like a big mall.
No, it doesn't look good. It looks very tacky. I do love the very reductive all Christians are trying to get here. Like this is it. Like the Jesus is not really a factor here.
Yeah, it's just sort of like a building. I also love that it's explicitly in space.
Because it's
like
a thing that can be observed with a big telescope, which means it's real.
Yes. Oh, duh. Okay, I get it. Because I was going to be like, it's so funny, the sort of bird-brained understanding of religion where God literally lives in the sky, which, like, no religion thinks that, but, like, it's so common that people are like, yeah, religion is when God lives in the sky. And I thought that was what this is from. But no, it has to be in space because the leaked photo. Where is it leaking from? Who had it under wraps? The government, maybe?
They got it from God's phone.
Yeah. God was like, the latest batch of retention kings who just showed up here like busted crazy amounts. This entire new like plaza on the left.
Their layers will
here,
become a coliseum for sure.
Yeah. Like that's new. I love this heaven, folks. What does it mean to live forever in the full glory of God? It means you live in a big fucking building. Like you probably got an apartment in there. Dude, is this just a 15-minute city? Because like it's all enclosed. Like you can't go out into like the Cum Hills.
Because it's the moon.
Yeah. You said cum and I made the retention kings joke, but looking at the texture, this is so fucking toothpaste. This is 100% toothpaste.
Oh, it's very specifically like I have not cleaned my sink.
Yes.
I am disgusted at the firmness of this particular dollop of toothpaste. It should not be as structurally strong as it is. And what if that was a whole city?
Photo of heaven. I will say, it's one of the few things from my Catholic upbringing that I like think is still interesting. And obviously, I don't think this is like true or like accurate. But I just think it's like, as an artistic representation of a concept, it's really good. Also, I know that this guy, C.S. Lewis, is a big-time piece of shit guy. But there's some book of his, I think it is called The Great Divorce, that is basically like, it's the story of some guy dying and going to hell and then heaven. And the way that hell and heaven are actually shown is like, it's the reason it stuck with me is because these are very shop-worn tropes, and it is the first time that I had seen them sort of rethought in a way that sort of like made logical sense that wasn't beholden to like heaven is where you have harps, hell is where there's red guys. And the whole concept was when you die, you go to hell, and hell is just like the world now, but you have sort of like omniscient, not omniscient, but like you have like powers. Like the world is infinite. And like if you want the world to go on more, you can. So if like you want to be on your own, you can just go out into the infinite void. And if you want to like have a house, it just like appears. And so you can like live your life exactly as you were. And every day there's a bus that goes to heaven that you can get on. And when you go to heaven on the bus, like the journey is just that the bus gets huge and eventually like the entire infinite expanse of hell becomes like a grain of sand. And you see that like heaven is much larger than you can ever conceive of. And the way that you like get there is you have to like give up the things that are holding you back from embracing the glory of the Lord. And a lot of people just won't do it. And again, I don't embrace the glory of the Lord because that shit's made up. But again, that's an interesting concept. The idea that like hell isn't a punishment. It is just when you choose not to join the choir, you know? Like that's an interesting concept. Much more interesting than the leaked photo of heaven, which is sad because that's what's real. Like it is the toothpaste.
Yeah, there's stars in the background, which you can't fake.
You can't. Try to do it. AI won't let you. It'll say, I don't know how to do that. I got fingers. Like, I figured that out. But stars, Dude, that's impossible.
You know what was the best scam of all time and something I'm jealous of? The first person,
What?
whoever it is, to come up with it. It's just like, yeah, you own a star. I'll put your name on it. Give me $400 or whatever. That person is so smart.
There's a lot of stars, dude. You can't run out. You're gonna run out of people before stars. Like you're gonna have double dippers who want 2 stars. Oh, speaking of dippers, what if you owned the entire Big Dipper? That would be so dope. You could like charge people for your IP. Like you looking up at that shit? That's mine, you know.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he's smart.
Yeah. What if someone owned the star that Heaven's on, dude? That would be so embarrassing.
First of all, it's on the moon, so it would be a non-issue.
Fuck. My bad. Must have gotten... I'm not retaining enough. I need to do more retention so they can have the most powerful brain.
Retention kinging.
Anyway, Bluesky's got some dumb fucking posts, I think is the point we're making here.
Yes.
We got a lot more that we didn't get to, so that just means that we're going to be able to do another one soon. Isn't that fun? They're back.
They're back.
What if, like, now our audience is, like, grown and mature, and they're like, this sophomoric hoo-hawing and hollering and hooting over some moronic posts is below me. That'd be devastating. Don't say that.
I also don't think our audience will grow.
Yeah, that's true. They don't get better. Actually, yeah, no, I'm going to take that in a positive way, which is to say anyone who likes Anime Sickos is already at like the peak of intellectual ability. And to get any smarter would involve giving up your moronic traits, which is itself stupid because you got to have some. Keeps you balanced. You don't want to be too top heavy because then you're going to fall over and knock your head open and your cum's going to leak out. And then you won't be retaining your cum. And then the whole game's over because how can you be smart with no cum in your brain? You can't. Simply not possible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's all for Anime Sickos. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. I've been Tom, an Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, an Anime Sicko. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Bluesky at Tom Harrison. Joe was also a sicko. You can follow him on Bluesky at Sharia Uncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Bluesky at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. You can give us money at patreon.com/Anime Sickos if you want. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.